Hey everybody, Chris here, and today I'm going to talk to you about the number one most important factor in getting and successfully playing the Abanico Rasgueado. Okay? So let's get to it. The number one thing is consistent, efficient, proper mechanics. That's it. Sounds easy, but it's not so easy. Let's talk about the mechanics. The Abanico Rasgueado, the most common one is to go up with the thumb. Well, we'll start up with the thumb. Up with the thumb. Down with one finger. It generally is going to be the middle finger, the second finger. Okay, I consider this a thumb. This is the first finger, this is the second finger. So that finger, some people will do it with just that one, myself included sometimes. And then the other most common would be these two together, the middle two fingers, okay? So go up with the thumb, down with those two fingers, and then you go down with the thumb. So you're going against the grain of the thumb, which is a high risk movement. What do I mean by a high risk movement? It means that you are going against that grain of your fingernail. So you are going against that grain and you're doing this very fast. And you can put a lot of oomph into it, which makes it a high risk to take your nail off. And when you have reinforced nails, like me, if it catches, your nail will not break. It will rip off, okay? So be aware of that. All that much more reason to take this slow and steady. This is a high risk, even if you don't have reinforced nail. If you have your natural nail, make sure that it is very smooth. Make sure that there are no burrs or cracks in your nail, because if they get caught, this can rip your nail right off. Okay? There you go. If I had fancy computer stuff, if anybody wants to buy me a fancy computer, you can buy me a fancy computer. That would super help me out, because I would be able to go warning, and big, and things would oscillate around and whoa, yeah. So anyway, I think you've got all the reason not to buy me a fancy computer, right? Anyway, so we have this up with the thumb, down with those two, let's say these two fingers. I think that's the most common. Down with these two fingers, down with the thumb. So that's it in a nutshell. Okay? Let's talk about the mechanics, the correct mechanics for this. I want to first point out that never do we have to push down in anything we do. Even if you were playing with a pick, you don't have to push down. Why? Because we have a thing called gravity. You don't have to push down. Your hand falls down. Will we push down? Yes, we will. But when you're practicing this, I would prefer you, and you would get the most benefit out of it, practicing super slow and really trying to have the body intelligence, the body awareness to not push down. What you want to feel is that you have to lift up with your thumb, and then these two are going to drop, and this drops. So you lift, drop, drop. Lift, drop, drop. Lift, drop, drop. Say that again. We lift with our thumb. We drop these two fingers down, and then I drop my thumb. So say lift, drop, drop. Lift, drop, drop. That's a super important. Like, that's worth your time right here, okay? Speaking of being worth your time, please consider subscribing and do a notifications button and all that stuff. It super helps me out. And if I had a fancy computer again, there would be something. Woo! Yeah? So, lift, drop, drop. The next thing is I want to talk to you about the biomechanics of your arm, okay? When you do an Abanico Rasgueado, you are basically like turning a key in a car. You're doing this. Technically, this is called supination and pronation of the wrist. So if you have your hand out here like this, you just have your hand out like that. Boom, boom. It's very easy to see there, okay? Supination and pronation, that's the movement. But once you bring it here, and I turn my hand like this, it's really easy for people to think this movement of the elbow is done by a completely separate muscle group. It's done by the bicep and tricep, okay? I'm flexing here, big muscles, and then tricep to extend it. I'm not using those. Those are just, I'm sitting static here. I'm going like this. So if I take my hand here, boom, 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 now I bend my elbow and go here. Now I have to have my hand in the proper setting here, and I lift, I drop my 2 fingers down, and then I drop my thumb, okay? You see that my forearm has stayed exactly where it is. Any movement from here, any vertical movement that you see in my forearm is incidental, okay? It is not the generator of the movement for the Abanico Rasgueado, okay? I'm throwing out some big words, but they are more concise, so you really understand what is happening, okay? If you don't understand, let me know, please. I'm happy to help. So there's a whole comment section below. Let me know what questions you have, what trouble you're coming up with, and let me know what that is. So now you know the proper motion, and it has to be efficient. So efficiency, one of the biggest lacks of efficiency that I will see as a teacher is that you will go up, down, and then what happens is this thumb will want to trail those 2 fingers too closely, and then you have to go back up to go down. You can't have that. It has to be up, down, and this thumb has to stay up, and then you go down. So up, down, and see how that thumb stays up? Down. Up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. The trick is, there's other tricks with this. It's not an easy technique, and that's why so many people ask about it, because it's not easy at all. Hopefully I've made it easier. Hopefully you have a better understanding now after watching this video, okay? Once you get fast at this, you stop having to extend these. Like, so right now I'm saying up, down, and you see how those are extending like almost independently, yeah? I'm actually using these knuckles to extend them. You have to do that to get the proper timing and to get the proper mechanics. Because if I showed you the way I actually do it, you're not going to get it, okay? This is just like in jiu-jitsu. A lot of people will show up to jiu-jitsu and the white belt, as a white belt and say, oh, I want to learn that fancy brown belt technique. You're not ready for it. You have to do the white belt stuff and get a foundation first, okay? So it's the same thing here. You want to start this out. You will probably, I've seen some advanced guitarists do this where they're still making a big motion like this at the beginning, like when they're beginning, but most of the time, as you get better at this, this stops extending. You start learning exactly how to have this. Sometimes I let my pinky out, sometimes I let my index finger out, but I want you to know that those aren't requisites, they're not required. I can have all of my hand. You can have your whole hand together, okay? So it's not required to do it. All right, so the number one thing that you have to have is efficiency. Efficiency in your movement. The quality biomechanics. Because if anything is wrong there, you're not going to be able to get the speed. You're going to be hung up, and you're going to have to relearn stuff. Okay? So work on this stuff. Up, down, down. Up, down, down, relax. So you lift up and you drop down. If you want me to list some exercises, please let me know in the comments below. I can come up with some exercises for you, but now you know the basics of the movement, where it's generated from, how to create efficient movement, and we will work on more later, okay? Please subscribe, hit the notifications button, watch my other stuff. I super appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Good luck with the guitar, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.